Have you ever just felt a sudden chill? You know, that sense of unease that washes over you in a perfectly normal room? What if I told you there's a force out there that operates just below our senses? A hidden influence that can touch our bodies and minds without us ever hearing it coming. Well, welcome to the world of infrasound.
And that's really the unsettling part of all this. See, it's not sound in the way we typically think of it. We're talking about a pressure wave so low our ears just can't register it. But our bodies definitely can. It's a presence that is felt, not heard. For centuries, right, tales of haunted places have all had these common themes. A sudden feeling of dread, a cold spot out of nowhere, maybe a fleeting shape in the corner of your eye. These experiences feel incredibly personal, often, well, paranormal. But what if science is starting to offer a completely different explanation, one that's rooted in something we can't even hear? Now, that is a startling question, isn't it? It completely shifts the investigation away from supernatural belief and straight into scientific inquiry. Could a purely physical phenomenon, a specific vibration, be responsible for experiences that people have interpreted as hauntings for, well, forever? That question is really at the heart of this whole mystery. And this isn't just a hypothetical. Let me tell you about a researcher named Vic Tandy. He was working late in his lab one night, and he was just overcome with this powerful sense of anxiety and dread. Then, out of the corner of his eye, he sees a gray apparition just floating towards him. He spins around to face it, and it's gone. So what was going on? Tandy, being a scientist, he investigated. He found that a new fan in the lab was putting out this low-frequency sound wave, a vibration trapped in the room at 18.98 hertz. Now get this, that frequency is incredibly close to the resonant frequency of the human eyeball. His eye was literally vibrating in its socket, creating an optical illusion. And that anxiety? Yep, also a known effect. He hadn't found a ghost, he'd found the ghost in his machine. Tandy's experience really blew the doors off a fascinating field of study. So now we're going to move from his incredible story to the hard science to see exactly how these inaudible frequencies can have such a profound effect on our biology. So what are we actually talking about here? Infrasound is just sound waves pitched below 20 hertz. That's the general cutoff for human hearing. We can't perceive these as tones, as sound, but they carry a whole lot of physical energy. Okay, so here's how it works, and this is the wild part. Unlike audible sound, which your ears process, intense infrasound acts as a whole-body vibration. Its wavelength is so long, it directly stimulates your cells and organs through physical resonance. What that means is your chest cavity, your internal organs, even your skull can start vibrating right along with these frequencies you can't even hear. And the consequences of that are, well, they're extensive and deeply disturbing. When people are subjected to high-intensity infrasound, they report unexplained fear and anxiety, dizziness, nausea, chest pains, disorientation. And yeah, at just the right frequency, it can cause visual distortion by vibrating the eyeball itself. Sound familiar? Of course, it was only a matter of time before someone realized that if a sound can make you feel fear and sickness, it could be a weapon. I mean, think about it. A force that basically simulates a haunting, creating dread, confusion, even apparitions, is the perfect raw material for psychological warfare. And this is where the story shifts from a weird environmental anomaly to a deliberate tool of control.
And military interest in this stuff is not new. It actually started way back in World War I, using infrasound to locate enemy artillery. But by the 1970s, the focus had shifted big time. In '72, France reportedly used 7 hertz generators for crowd control. A year later, the British Army was testing the squawk box in Northern Ireland. And by the 90s, Russia had reportedly developed a device that could project a 10 hertz acoustic bullet, causing intense pain from hundreds of meters away.
The strategic goals were chillingly clear. Military documents talked about using infrasound to break down a person's resistance during interrogation, to induce stress in enemy forces, and even to create invisible sonic barriers. The goal wasn't just to dominate a physical space, but to dominate the psychological state of the target. Today, this technology has evolved way beyond those blunt sonic cannons. Now we're talking about sophisticated tools of psychological warfare, or psyops. The new goal isn't just to cause discomfort, but to actually control emotion, silently, and from a distance. Now, check this out. According to the president of a company called Silent Sounds Incorporated, the technology now exists to analyze human emotional brain patterns replicate them, and then use low-frequency carriers to silently induce those same emotions in a target. And his claim that this system was used quite successfully during Operation Desert Storm, that suggests a battlefield where a soldier's emotional state could be completely manipulated without them ever knowing.
And this research is absolutely ongoing. A 2021 article from China's PLA Daily openly discusses neural infrasonic weapons. The stated goal is to match the weapon's frequency to the brain's own natural rhythm, allowing an operator to influence and even control an enemy's behavior, causing disorientation and loss of control.
So, where does this leave us? We've gone from a ghost in a laboratory all the way to a modern battlefield of the mind. The implications of a weapon that operates completely below conscious perception, well, they're profound.
Traditional warfare is obvious. You hear the gunfire, you see the explosion, the threat is clear. But inaudible warfare is covert. It targets your psychology, not buildings. It creates an unseen influence. And, this is crucial, it offers plausible deniability. Its effects, fear, confusion, depression, they can be dismissed as something else entirely.
And that leaves us with one final haunting question. This technology blurs the line between our own free will and some external influence. If a force you cannot see or hear can make you feel fear or apathy or panic, how would you ever know it wasn't you?